Hi guys, it's Sarah Taylor. I thought I actually might talk you through a painting today because I've got some family here and they're upstairs with my kids. So we're gonna go ahead and talk while I paint. We'll see how it goes. So I've got a 24 by 24 inch gallery wrapped canvas here. By Artist Loft, or by Artist Loft, yes, that's the one. And I've got, been working on some big paintings and I've got all these beautiful paints mixed up, but not a whole lot of them left. So I'm gonna do something similar to the painting Lillypad that I did recently, which I varnished and then, actually I resined it and then it sold immediately. So a friend just saw it and she came over right away and that was that. So I'm gonna do something kind of similar. And we'll talk about my paints here. So this is a Modern Masters pearl white, and then I mixed in some white mixture that I had the rest of, which was Artist Loft white mixed with Floetrol, and then also Artist Loft pouring medium. So there's that. This is golden Prussian blue, and I did add a bit of phthalo green just to give it a little bit of turquoise tone. This is Cobalt Turquoise by Golden. As you can see, everything is very thin. Plenty of pigment and golden paints to go really thin like this. I just kind of watered everything down about 20% to what I normally do. This is an interesting color. This is Jenkins Green and Payne's Gray mixed together, both golden fluid acrylic, and then I added a little bit of this Charvin Indigo, which is beautiful. It's a great paint and it just kind of gave it, it's dark and rich and green and beautiful. This is just a touch. I'm just gonna add a touch of this Nickel Azo Gold by Golden Fluid. And then this is Green Gold by Golden Fluid. I gotta thin this down just a touch. It's a little bit thicker than the others. I use a pipette to add my water so I don't end up adding too much water. A dab will do ya. Yeah, this is, it also has some Artist Loft paint in it, kind of a bright green yellow by Artist Loft. I'll show you what that tube looks like. Brilliant Yellow Green by Artist Loft, mixed with Green Gold by Golden Fluids. And they're all mixed with Floetrol. And my Floetrol did have about 30% Artist Loft pouring medium, and then I watered everything down, probably 20%. And then this is, I'm gonna use it as a flow extender. It's actually the paint that came off the plastic from Lillypad. And it's really thin and flowing. Oh, and then don't forget this, Extreme Sheen Deco Art 24 karat gold. Of course. And then this is a different, this is Deco Art Metallics acrylic. It's a little different than the Extreme Sheen. They just look a little bit different. This is Extreme Sheen, this is the Metallics. And they behave a bit differently too. I like the Extreme Sheen much better. It's such a beautiful cell producer. Yeah, and this stuff is just kind of like a metallic acrylic, a little bit more run-of-the-mill. It's okay. I couldn't find this, so I grabbed some of that when I was in the store to see what it was like. Okay, so what we're gonna do is a big old dirty pour. Very fluid. This is about a 32-ounce plastic cup that, you know, I just had kind of lying around, and we're gonna go for it. White. I find that this Nico Azo Gold by Golden Fluids, when it's sitting and mixed right next to the Extreme Sheen, it is really something. I mean, I don't know what it is, but the two of those right next to each other in a painting is like something else. And I don't really know why. Well, I do know why. They're both beautiful colors. That was the gold. This is our crazy mix of Jenkins green and Payne's gray and indigo. A little booger in there. Okay. We're just gonna see what these guys do together today. I love this little tool. You can get out the rest of the paint. Although I like to leave a little bit of paint in the bottom in case I want to come back in and brush it in a little bit. Or use a palette knife while it's still wet to kind of, that's the cobalt turquoise. I hear my family clanging around upstairs. You probably hear me and are like, what is she doing? Has she gone mad? She's talking to herself. Yes, people, I've gone a bit mad. In the best way possible. All right. Actually, this is our Prussian blue Payne's gray. The other one was the, you know what it was. Oops. I'll have to find him after we dump it. I'm kind of bad. I don't like use fresh cups every time. But usually if you just stir from the bottom, it's all good. You can check out my paint mixing video. There's the Azo. And on top of that Azo yellow, what I'm gonna do, such a great color. It looks orange, but it's not. Like if you were to take this paint and like stain it over white, it's actually like this really vibrant gold yellow color. So it looks orange in this cup, but it's, you can probably see it a little bit in the light. What it does, it's really pretty. And I'm gonna get the rest of my gold out of the bottom of this cup so it lays down next to that Azo. Okay, so then I'm gonna drop some of this in from up high and also more white. Pearl and white mixed together. Sorry, I had to go handle some business upstairs. We had a little delivery. Okay, so lights on, hold on. Okay guys, I'm gonna take this cup and flip. Great way to clean up your studio. Got a bunch of pretty paints left. What not gonna say leftover, but pretty paints. I don't really believe in leftover paint because I've always got stuff kind of mingling around. Here we go. Oh yeah. I didn't really mean to do that. See this, some of this? I'm gonna kind of clean that up. Oh, this is pretty. Yeah, these ribbons are interesting. I think it'll stretch out really nice though. Lots of air bubbles. The nice thing about thin paint though is your air bubbles come right out. There'd be a lot of cells in this painting. That's cool. That green. Everything out of the way. Not as organized as some of y'all painters. Kind of funny, my upstairs of my house is quite tidy. And down here, it's like, I think it is healthy to have a mess in your life somewhere sometimes. There was a lot of air bubbles in that white paint. What you can do, if there's too many, and you're like, oh, look at all this, just kind of poke them back down a little bit before you stretch. It can be effective. Okay. And I'm just going to use this kind of thin flow extender. For a little bit longer than I did. Sometimes when you're ready to paint, you're ready to paint. So I'm going to tell you something. I love this. Your instinct, if you love a certain section, would be to dump it off last. However, I find that I go towards the part that I like first, because then you're going to kind of end up stretching it back along the rest of the canvas afterwards, and kind of keep that part that you go towards first. So it seems. Every painting's different, my friends. Off that back corner. Oh yeah. I'm actually gonna go back this way right now. Nope, I'm gonna follow my own advice that I just gave you. What I like about a flip cup is that it seems to hold its shape really nicely. At least it does for me. I mean, the paints are all fairly the same consistency, but not exactly, but it's all kind of flowing together because it just kind of got dumped together. Let me get a couple of these little guys out. Some little friends in here. Tell me if you see one, would you? All right. I don't want to lose too much of that, but I don't have much of a choice. I do want to take it off this corner. There we go. So that section that I really liked, see how I did lose some of it off the sides. However, when I come back this way, I'm going to get a lot of it back. Slow and steady wins the race. There's no need to rush. Words I tell myself when I'm painting, there's no need to rush. So when I first started doing this, I would really just want to like dump it off. Just dump it off the side. Different paints seem to like to go at different speeds. I really like that, so I'm gonna try to keep that, and then I'm just gonna turn the canvas so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing here. Center a little bit. I'm by no means a professional at tilting paint off a canvas, but I'll tell you, the only way to learn is to practice. Because every time you kind of see what different paints like to do, and that's how we all develop our own lovely, unique style. Like, ooh, I like that. I think I'll do that again next time. Come here, baby. There's not a whole lot left, is there? It's going. Get all that nonsense off the corner, off the edge. Okay, I lost my push button. That's always fun. Some other pins. Yes, I'm still talking to myself down here in the basement. It's really pretty. Found another little. Well, if you can catch them early, if there's something in there, what happens is it catches the paint. Sometimes it's a blessing in disguise though. It can make something interesting. I have found that when you water paints down this much, they can get a little bit muddy, but that's where a coat of resin on a painting like this, which let me just emphasize, I do not really like using resin. Not a huge fan. But I found that it does have its place. Certain paintings just do so well under resin. Don't be afraid to come in and play around a bit, smooth out some lines that seem a little bit jagged. Now's the time to do it. And it's still really wet and fluid. God, one of those cups of paint had quite a lot of. That's all right.